Today's episode is all about gear, but it's afternoon, I haven't been outside yet, so fresh air first.
Okay, so today I'm doing something a little bit different.
Very windy, very windy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I was really hoping to get some drone shots right here of me riding my skateboard, and I'm like a mile away from the airport, so I can't fly here. If you're a very long time viewer of this vlog, you might remember I used to ride this skateboard all the time.
Never bored, but I got a board that I put on all fours and kick it on smooth floors. It's with me on tours, even ride it on stages.
I was at my parents' house the other day and I saw this in the garage and I was like, I need to take this. I am so excited to go ride this somewhere. I had to relocate. That was a close one. I'm going to another trail now, a little bit farther from the airport. I just really wanted to fly my drone today. Now time to talk about gear. I should preface this by saying I don't like talking about gear.
Yes, please.
I never thought this day would come. This just shows you with a little bit of patience and hard work, you're gonna get what you want to get. Oh, it's beautiful. When I first started making videos, I had nothing but a phone. I had an iPhone 6 and it only had 16 gig of storage on it. So anytime I filmed anything, I had to like immediately transfer it onto my computer, delete all of it in order to have any space to film more. But for me, at the time, it was the perfect tool. I've always been a really firm believer in the idea that the only thing that matters is the story you're telling, and what you use to make that story is secondary. It doesn't matter nearly as much. Like 4 years ago, my dad got me into this guy named Casey Neistat, and I was addicted. His whole philosophy was always like, don't let your resources define who you are or what you make. It is incredibly easy to make excuses for yourself based on what gear you do or do not have. And Casey allowed no room for those excuses.
Gear doesn't matter. Let me explain.
A few years ago, I couldn't afford a camera or a computer or software or anything that I thought I needed to make a video. And then I realized I didn't actually need any of that stuff. And the thing that's so crazy and scary is that if I would have waited until I had the money to buy a camera, I don't think I ever would have bought a camera. Man, oh man. After using a 2013 MacBook Air, this is my new computer. Here's my newest purchase. GoPro with a tripod now. I've always lived my life based on a very simple biblical principle, and that is, he who is faithful with little will be given much. When it comes to camera gear, very often I'm not using this stuff to its fullest potential anyway. What I mean by that is this. This was the first camera I ever bought. This is the Panasonic G7. I still think this is the best vlogging camera ever made. If you're looking for a camera to vlog with, this is the one you should buy. It's $500, has the flip out screen, the picture is incredible, I still use it. When I first got this camera, I barely knew how to use it. I didn't know anything about color grading, I didn't know anything about frame rate, I didn't know anything about really anything. So the first stuff I shot with this camera looked still better than my phone, but still bad. The level of production I was capable of was way lower than the level of production this was capable of. It took me over a year before I got good enough at using this camera to make a nicer camera even worth it. But that's why being faithful with little is so important. You see, if I never had this camera and I started with this camera, the Panasonic GH5S, I wouldn't know a thing about how to use this camera. And I think that if you're a beginner in anything, whether it's video, photo, art, design, whatever it may be, if you go from nothing to the best or the most expensive equipment, or like from 0 to 100, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because the way that you grow is in learning how to maximize these tools. All the video gear I have was paid for with money that I made making videos. And that's why it was such a huge deal and a special thing to me when I finally did get something new, like my drone or my computer. Because it meant, number one, I was making enough money to actually buy it, and number two, I was improving enough to outgrow what I already had. The power is not in the gear you have. Like, if you think there's something special about having a certain camera, you're putting way too much emphasis on this stupid thing. So that's why I say gear doesn't matter. It's not that you can't make great stuff with better gear, or that having more expensive things can make better quality videos, because for me, now it does. But I guess my whole point is that if I couldn't make something great with a phone and some free editing software, then I wouldn't be able to make something great with a $10,000 setup like I have now. And I think that's important to remember.